Hello everyone. While we've got our very own live case study, we thought it would be actually a good idea to do a little video on post-surgery care, because hopefully it's something that doesn't happen that often. But we have had a little issue with Harlequin lately that has required her to have an operation. And of course, for a little guinea pig, that's quite a big deal. So just a little bit of a backstory with Harlequin is we noticed she had a lump on one of her nipples a while back, and we did get it checked out, but it didn't look too suspicious and the vet could only kind of feel one, so we sort of kept an eye on it but left it for then. And then a little bit more recently I noticed that she had another one on the other side, and then a new lump came up as well that was kind of like above her nipple on her right side, like on her belly, but coming out of the skin, so not underneath, one coming out. So I was like, yeah, not happy about this. Again, kept an eye on them for a little bit, and then she got to a point where actually her personality started to change a little bit, and I noticed that she was sitting a bit hunched, not quite as outgoing as she normally is. So called the vet and said, I need you to come and have a look at her. So we took her in and the vet had a look and said, yeah, look, if it was just one, maybe, you know, we might not worry too much, but because there were now new lumps appearing, his advice was to have the lumps removed through an operation. And so I'm just getting distracted by my dog in the background, and yeah, send them off for testing as well, so we knew what they were, you know, knew what we were dealing with. So there we go. I'm waffling a little bit, but it's a big decision, isn't it? And whether you have surgery or not, it's also a costly thing as well. But weighing it all up, thinking about the fact that she's not actually that old, wanting her to try and have the longest, best quality of healthy life that we can, we thought, yes, let's do it. Let's take the advice. We're using a pretty specialist vet, so we put our trust in them. Obviously, they could only do so much, but we thought, yes, we'd give it a go, and obviously look to get the lumps tested as well to see what we're then dealing with. So that's a little bit of the background, really, I suppose, and why we thought we'd go ahead with it. But it is a big deal, and then obviously when you bring the animal home again, you've got quite a lot of work to do to make sure that you can get them back on the road to recovery. So a few little hints and tips for preparing for your return from the vet. So they're going to need a safe, clean space where they can be kept calm. I know when Harlequin first came back, she was literally like shell-shocked potato. She was just like sitting like this, wasn't she? So she was just like, oh my gosh, what just happened to me? So it's really important that they've got a nice quiet place to come. I don't know if you can have a little look at the cage area over here. So we've got a spare furplast huge monster of a cage here that we keep up in the loft for situations like this, really, where we need to have a guinea pig or maybe two separate from the others for whatever reason. So we've got fleece in the bottom, so that's nice and soft, and also really importantly so that it keeps it dry, because the wound obviously for her is right underneath her belly, and guinea pigs' bellies are right close to the floor, so you want to keep everything as clean and dry as possible. We've kept it quite minimal. There's not loads in there because we don't want her to go racing around, climbing on anything, or have any more injuries or accidents at all. And yeah, I've said keep it clean, right? I think I've said that about a million times. You might need to do some extra spot cleans, keep on top of it, perhaps even more than you would normally. So picking up those poops and everything, and trying to keep the food, trying to keep your hay like up and out of the way. So she's looking quite bright actually at the moment because we brought her outside. She was inside with us during the night, and then while the weather's okay at the moment, we're just bringing her out for some fresh air. And the other thing we have been able to do just at the moment is from time to time pop one of our new little baby piggies in with her just for a bit of company, but also it's a guinea pig that's not going to be too bolshy or throw their weight around too much, because it's a tiny baby piggy, so she's still in charge and in control, but she's also got that little bit of company which helps her move around. So First things first, really, once you get them home, the main thing is that they are eating and drinking and pooing and weeing, of course, but food and drink, so they've got to get eating as soon as possible. So you want loads and loads of tasty food to offer them. I have a little selection here which I'll put in a minute, and then the other thing that can be really important once you come back straight away from the vets from that surgery is having some critical care on hand. So we've got the Oxbow critical care here. You can also get critical care varieties from your vets as well. So they can provide that, or you can get this kind of stuff on the internet. What I quite often like to do as well with my critical care is mix in some vitamin C. So I've got Pro-C probiotic there, just to put a little bit of that in. So you mix it up as per the dosage on the packet with some water, and it goes a bit gloopy and delicious, and then you can syringe feed that. Everyone has their preference. This is my favourite, almost broken 2mm syringe that I like to use, but some people will use smaller ones, some people like to use bigger ones, and that's total preference as to what you find works. And I think we've got another video on syringe feeding. Is that right? We've got a video. We've got another video somewhere on syringe feeding. But yeah, the critical care is going to be really useful. Spread the feeds out, throughout, a 24-hour period. Obviously, make sure you're offering food in between, but just keep giving that to kind of get them going. It's really important that their guts don't stop working. And you have to take your time with that. You have to be patient. Again, I think hopefully we kind of covered that kind of stuff in the syringe feeding one, but you just have to be patient. It is time consuming. So hello, you come to say hello. It's time consuming, but stick at it because it's really worth it. It will mean you have to get up in the middle of the night and feed them, but better to do that than to be, have a guinea pig trying to recover from surgery that's then not eating at all. That's really dangerous. So yes, eating, drinking, pooing, weeing. So lots of tasty food, the critical care, and get them moving. Yeah, so give them space to move about. What can help with this is to spread the food out in the cage. So I'm going to pop some bits around, and hopefully she'll be grateful for this as well. But if you spread it out a little bit, it means they've got to move to get to it. We've got some lovely yummy grass. Harlequin probably can't resist the grass. I know she can't. Look, here she comes. So I'm going to spread it out, and you will find that they get really picky. So Harlequin's not normally a picky eater, but now she's recovering from surgery, she's being extremely picky with what she eats. So just try and give them loads and loads of choice and variety. Just keep offering, even if you don't think they're going to have it. Keep offering. She's been quite liking, yeah, you've been into your lettuce. Just make sure it's not iceberg lettuce, but she's been really into her lettuce lately. But don't be surprised if what they normally like to eat all of a sudden they don't quite fancy anymore. It just seems to be the way it goes. So we're going to just spread all of those bits out in here so that she's got to do a little bit of work, there we go, to come and find them. So as well as spreading your food around in their cage and to help them get moving and obviously encourage them to eat, you've also got to make sure that you keep the wound clean. So having them on a fleece lining or something like a vet bed as well will really help, and just make sure you change it regularly so that it's not getting damp, and you're cleaning up those little poops really regularly. As I think I've said with the critical care, we've been administering that sort of, at spaced out intervals throughout the day and the night. I've also been syringing her a little bit of water as well. Obviously she's got her bottle of water there, but particularly to start with, when she came back, she just did not want to move at all. Now, I wouldn't. If someone had just cut my belly open, taken a load of suspicious looking lumpy tissue out and sewn me back up, I probably wouldn't want to move either. So particularly to start with, she just was not getting off her mat to go and eat and drink herself. So syringing that water in with the critical care, sort of in between. So I perhaps do like a couple of mil of critical care and then a little bit of water, and then keep rotating that until I've maybe done I don't know, 10 mil of critical care at a time. So yeah, just a couple of other things to mention that I find really quite useful is if you're having to make return trips to the vet, which you will. So Harlequin had her surgery on Wednesday, today is Friday. So she came back Wednesday night. We've been kind of all systems go, trying to make sure that she's eating and feeling a little bit more normal, and I can see her personality getting better and her returning a little bit more to normal. But we went to the vets for a checkup this morning. So for a little trip out like that, particularly when they're already feeling stressed, it's quite handy just to have a little de-stressing thing. We've got some Pet Remedy here, which is a natural de-stress and calming spray. So a couple of little sprays on her, just avoid the face area, or on the bedding, just to help it keep them relaxed as much as possible. It is quite stressful taking them out on a trip to the vet. Also things like a little drop of lavender oil, that can be calming as well. If you want to try that, that's absolutely fine. And then something else that I find super useful to have in the drawer at all times is Lucillin, which is an antiseptic skincare. Now this is brilliant for post-op care in terms of a wound. So it's just an antiseptic spray. It won't sting. You can get it in your eyes and your ears, and it's absolutely fine. Safe for use on small mammals. So a really good spray of that into the wound 2 or 3 times a day, and that's going to help it keep really clean, which is most important to recovery, because you don't want to get an infection in there or anything. Just the same as humans. Just think humans, what you would do after an operation you'd had, and you just apply it to them, and just keep an eye on their personality, and hopefully they'll be feeling right as rain in no time at all. If you just want to have a quick look at where her wound is on her belly, she's busy munching, but here we go. So if I just gently pick up her front legs, she's nice and supported on the cushion. So if you can just see, she's got a big scar running down this side, can you see that? And she also has another one on this side here, and obviously their belly's been shaved. So yeah, quite serious. And the vet has taken out as many of the lumps and bumps as he could, because actually when he got down to it and shaved her, they found more than we initially thought there were. So he took out as much as was possible, and once we've had all of that tested, we will then take it from there. We don't know yet, but we shall see. So I hope you found this just a little bit useful. This is just what we do. This is just our experience, but it's what we found works. Obviously every guinea pig is different, but yeah, just try and be led by what you think they need, and what sort of signs they're showing. But those are the things we found really useful. I hope you guys have found it useful. If you have, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you again another time. Bye.